Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Witcher Bloodletting, Session 12, Chip Off the Old Block. Oh, I'm so corny. Part five. What? Oh, this is awesome. We got a part 5 going on. This is I miss playing like, 8, 12, 14-hour sessions. Those always made me happy.
I'm excited for hour 6, everybody. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
No, we won't.
Fortunately, Talabas won't be around to join us.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go back into it. Tal, speaking of you, and not being around to join it, it's literally the middle of your turn. You ran up the stairs, ran around the corner. That was your move action thus far. About 25 feet from where one is riding the other, and you failed your con save. Go, sir.
Am I gonna slowly turn to stone? Can I move still?
Yeah, absolutely. You have full technical range of your character.
How
But not practical.
far away am I from this
25
boy?
feet. So if you move 20, you can hit it with a fist.
Or you can shoot an arrow.
But I used all my movement, didn't I? Or did I?
Your regular movement, yes.
Okay, right. Let's step of the wind.
You still got another one, right?
Step of the wind.
Okay, and now
Another.
another action. So he starts rushing forward with Step of the Wind to move the rest of the gap. Now you still have 2 actions, and you used your bonus. Yep. So just 2 actions left, which is a lot.
Yep.
What do you do, sir?
I am gonna move into, if possible, flanky position. If not, I'm just gonna stab at this boy.
All positions are flanking positions at this moment because of like how this thing's being ridden and whatnot. So
Cool.
that count as a 20. That's definitely a hit with your spear as you move up.
And I will also
Roll your damage, boy.
I will also do this, Master Sculpt.
1 second. So this is the stunning strike.
So I have expended a key point, and I would like you to roll a Constitution saving throw, or be stunned until the end of your next turn.
He's already stunned till the end of his next turn.
Don't like it this. Wait, what's my modifier again? I don't like it this.
-2.
Not a -2.
Oh no, it's at +1.
+7. What's the DC?
+7.
And 9 points of damage. So
I'm not sure because it's not explicitly stated. So what would it be? Off my wisdom if I'm a monk?
yeah, probably. Read it inside the monk class really quickly. In the meanwhile, you try to stab the thing, and you do successfully hit it, but as before, it doesn't land quite the blow that you had hoped it would with the attack. And so you harm it, but not as much as you had hoped. All right, moving on. So that brings us to the next person is... Oh, you have another action.
Yeah.
You have actually technically you do 3 more attacks.
Yeah. 4.
Jesus.
4. Oh yeah, 3. Yeah, and because I've already done one. Key save DC, so I guess it comes at that. So it's Wisdom, which is a spell save DC of 14.
DC's 14. I beat that with my save. So actually, you unfortunately don't understand this creature well enough to hit the appropriate key flow. It does not work. What do you do
Cool.
next?
I'm going to attack again.
Shoot. Okay, that's another hit.
And once again,
Stunning strike.
stunning strike.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense that you would rinse and repeat. That's a better hit. Ooh, This time, not only do you hit it once again with a better blow than you did before, which again not as great as you would hope, but still kind of like penetrating through its flesh and through its scales and whatnot that it has there. You actually hit the spot in the right nerve. You like can see it starting to react and then like twist and then like almost sever a nerve or whatever it is that you hit that's just like the right spot. The thing just kind of like spasms for a second and it's not able to be as reactive as it was beforehand. You successfully stun it. For those at home that don't know, stun, you are incapacitated, can't move, and can only speak falteringly. Attack rolls against you have advantage. You automatically fail strength and dex saving throws. Okay, so that is Tal's turn.
I
nope,
got one more.
One more, yep.
One more. Yeah.
Hold on, did you say attacks on
Advantage.
this creature have advantage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you've got 2 more attacks, right? So you could just like.
Oh yeah, 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. You're right. So
You
2 more.
have a whole other action unless you want to do something else with your action.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think
go
I
ahead.
just try
Go for the
to do-
eyes.
Go
Oh
for the
yeah,
eye, boo.
that's a good point.
You
I'll declare it on my next one to go for the
Reroll
eye.
it once
So-
just to see if you get a crit, but like that's it.
you're supposed to.
Oh
do
yeah,
that
I've got advantage. Yeah.
yeah, you're supposed to, so you have to re-roll with advantage. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I swear I roll worse.
Okay, but with that +2 because you're
146.
flanking, so that actually you easily hit the eye. How much damage do you do?
Woo!
Separate AC for the eyeball.
Wow.
So you stab the spear into the eye, and then give me 1 second to double check something. You stab the spear into the eye. The creature is still up and thrashing, but it is not doing well at all. It is not doing well at all. You harm the thing considerably.
When does Tal turn to stone?
Next turn probably.
So we'll worry about that in a moment.
I got one more. One more.
Go ahead.
One more.
Well, its eyes have already been stabbed, so it has no eyes. So that's just a general
Got
attack.
no eyes. So what do I want to do? What's my AC?
It's subdued right now. Technically, it's stunned and it can't see, so it's almost.
Yeah, but there is another one somewhere that might come out and just try and eat me.
Or turn to
Hello,
stone.
puppy.
One
Hello,
sec. Let me
Daelric
just
dog.
read one thing.
Oh, I've had
Don't-
Tal's camera being messed with this whole time. You didn't realize. I'll fix that for
Oh,
you.
Daelric,
great.
pet your dog.
Pet my dog.
His
Yeah, look
dog
how nice he is.
Hi,
Being a
puppy.
good boy.
He's mad.
It's a girl. Her
She's being a good
her
girl.
name's Bratwurst.
I feel like all dogs are good boys, whether or not they're boys.
That's
Well, so Tal's gonna stomp on this guy's head.
true. Sure. Go right ahead.
Oof! Get those juices flowing.
Yeah, got to get that saliva on my foot.
And with the +2 for flanking, you actually also still hit that as well. So, 7 points of damage. What's this? Agile parry. If you make an unarmed attack as part of the attack action while holding it. Oh, that's right. You're a Kensai. Forgot about
So my
that.
AC is now 19.
I literally was thinking to myself, like, oh, I know what Eric would do. He would, but I forgot you were a Kensai as well. So -3. So you deal a damage. You kick the thing in the head. You think you hurt your heel more than you hurt it, but you kick the thing in the head. So that is your whole turn. That brings us back to Leonard. This thing is stunned and bleeding. He came out of nowhere and has been stabbing the thing. What do you do
I'm gonna pluck all of its teeth.
while it's alive and kicking?
No.
How to lose your hand in combat. Snap. Oh, oops.
Oops. Jeez.
Gone.
I don't know, man. It's still alive, I guess. So I guess I'll just two-hand that dagger. Give it a freaking. Do I have anything? What? I only have fainting attack. I think. Yeah, it's my only. Okay.
You already have advantage.
But I already have advantage, so
But it does up your damage.
It would give me the damage, but or I could just. I'm just gonna attack twice.
You could disarm it.
I'm gonna cut its arms. Can I cut its arms off?
I mean, it's so hard to stab through the thing.
Yeah,
Cutting an
okay,
arm
so
off,
yeah.
It's meaty
So yeah.
arms.
I'll take my dagger because I already have it out, and I'm role playing very well. I'm gonna use it to, even though it doesn't do as much damage, I'm just gonna keep plunging it into the head twice.
Try to bash the skull. Go ahead. Well, it's good that you avoided that one. That counts as a 20. That's a hit. Roll your damage. It's okay, and then you can attack again. roll your
Yay!
damage. That's awesome.
Wow.
Shame you didn't superiority die that for that 2d8.
Another 7.
That's hilarious. That happens to be the right. That's hilarious. All right. So, anyways, sir, you already described it, and you start plunging the thing into its head, and eventually it just stops moving while you're doing that.
Fantastic.
That brings us down to Bran downstairs. You saw what's his name loop upstairs, run up there, and you hear kind of like a shout and some combat and everything happening. Right after he starts running up the stairs, what do you do?
I guess I follow slowly.
Okay, so you make your way up the stairs, but you're not like rushing or anything like that. You're moving at it.
Oh, I would make sure to close the door again.
Well,
Like make sure
Bastion's
it's properly
behind.
shut.
Oh, the front door.
Yeah.
Oh, so Bastion will probably go looping ahead of you then. Just because however he describes his turn, he might end up being ahead of you. But you stay behind, shut the door, and then go up behind him, pulling up the rear or whatever, which is fine. So Bastion, what do you do in your turn when you saw him running up the stairs and all that?
Do I actually get a turn? I thought I missed
You have a bonus and a move, no standard.
Okay.
Yeah, you lose your action. That's it.
And the creature is dead?
You don't know that, but yes.
When I get up there and I see it,
So you do climb up the stairs. So you make your way up the stairs, get
Yeah.
there as quick as you can. Unfortunately, you have to hang because of again angling and everything. How far it is for you to even see that. If you try to loop up the stairs quickly, athletics or acrobatics for me.
There we go.
And an acrobatics this time. It's an athletics for me.
I said both to you before.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, absolutely.
I would have done significantly better. I didn't know.
You easily loop up the stairs and are able to get over near the creature. Not quite to it. Actually, you end up stopping around where what's his name had stopped, but only because you have a slower speed than he does. So you end up stopping about 25 feet from where the combat was, and you see that the creature is definitively dead. But you also almost immediately notice that Tal is kind of, and I imagine Leonard finally finishing this thing off and looking up at Tal. Tal is moving a bit rigid and starting to very quickly, his skin's starting to kind of get a grayish color to it. We'll get to that in 1 second. That was your move. You still have a bonus if you have anything you can do with that.
And I imagine I noticed that he was starting to turn already.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty obvious enough because he imagined that as soon as the combat ends too, he'd almost like look down at himself. Like there's enough signs to show that there's something happening.
So there's not really, I don't think there's anything I can do with a bonus action, but I'll probably like gesture to Leonard and like tell him, start getting saliva. Not your saliva.
So you say that's Leonard. That brings us to Tal's turn again. Tal, you're gonna have to roll for me a Constitution save, sir.
Ho ho ho!
91. Let's go, boys.
It's the
Oh,
20.
wait. The Constitution save happens at the end of your turn, so you'd see
Okay.
your turns of your action first.
Okay.
So that doesn't apply as much as
Okay.
I want it to.
As much as I want it to. Oh, well, that's a good indicator.
So what do you do with your turn first? You saw what's his name come up. You clearly were looking at yourself. He says, "Start getting saliva." What do you do?
Start getting saliva, obviously.
Okay. So what are you doing with it as you like reach into this dead thing's mouth?
Put it on like
Like
a
a head
hat.
in it.
Yeah, put it on like a hat.
Is this notification beginning anywhere in particular?
It's throughout your whole body. It happens like simultaneously everywhere. Some spots might finish first, but it's pretty like all over.
No, Daelric, I always finish first.
So Tal's gonna start. So he's gonna like dip both hands in, get him covered with like gloop, whatever, and start with hands and arms and shoulders so that he maintains movement in those, and then begin to slather face next, and then chest, and then legs.
Okay. So you're doing this with like the blood-covered saliva nastiness, just trying to get like scoops of whatever liquids inside of its mouth.
He does not want to turn to stone.
Roll me your Constitution save with advantage.
Here we go.
Natty 1.
19.
Ho ho!
Oh,
Wow.
You're starting to gray and change and all that stuff, as I said, but then all of a sudden it seems to slow down. And then like the stiffness that you felt before stays, at least for now, but the progression of it stops, halts completely. This is like, while he's doing that, what is Leonard actually doing on his turn?
Watching.
So he's just kind of like watching the effects, just curious, like, I wonder how this actually plays out.
Still standing over the creature.
That's legit,
He watches particularly intently as Tal covers his crotch.
You notice what spots. I imagine you do grab your thighs and whatnot as well, but before you have to get into any of the nethers, like you probably put it around your face, but not necessarily on your actual eyes or anything like that. But you're covered clearly in this thing's blood and saliva. But like before you have to get too gross, you actually already start to feel its effects happening. So you just sit there and you watch, which is perfectly fine.
Tal, you the clothes might be blocking some of it.
Tal is luckily not wearing much clothing.
Never
His
has.
top half is just bare, pretty much.
He's got easy access under his kilt as well.
It just reaches up under there. Oh, that's better.
Bastion, what's your passive? Bastion and what's your name? Rick, what's your passive perception?
11.
What's that?
It's right underneath like your skills and stats and stuff like that. This passive perception.
Oh, 12.
Okay.
No, wait, that's passive. Yeah, okay, 12.
So after the two of them kind of like sitting there and whatnot, eventually like Rick, you hear like last second, you hear scampering kind of very quickly speed up because you were in combat before. So you can't really notice anything. You're like watching this, you're making your jokes or whatever, and you hear scampering very quickly speed up down the hallway behind you. You know what I mean? Making its way towards where, literally right behind where you are. Now, I'm not mean, even though you didn't say you didn't prepare an action. Your character was alert. You knew that there were 2 eggs. Combat literally just ended, and you have the highest passive. So you hear this happening. As though you had prepared an action, you can take 1 action. No move, no bonus, no anything right now as an interrupt. As this creature's coming, you can hear it coming towards you. It's behind you, so you can't see it yet. What do you want to do? You don't know exactly how far it is.
Come on, overreach, flesh to stone.
What do you do?
Got the eye.
I teleport 30 feet
Not
towards
you.
my front.
Rick.
Oh.
Not Rick. I'm saying Rick. Messy, what do you do? You have the
Oh,
highest.
it's my turn.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Alright.
You have your... Was I saying Rick the whole time?
Man, earlier.
Was I saying Rick the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just me being terrible at names. I'm sorry. I meant Messy
Yeah, I
because
was
he has the
imagining
high.
I have something coming up behind me. Fuck that. No.
My
If it's
apologies.
Reddit,
It's
okay.
yes, Leonard. Yeah.
Do you want
Yeah,
my
I'm fucking sweating, man.
Sorry.
I need to talcum powder my balls now.
So what do you do, Messy? I'm so sorry.
It's coming up behind me.
Yep. You hear it coming. You don't see it because it's behind you. What do you want to do?
Is my smoke still out?
Yeah.
Has it been too...
Yeah, it's still out behind you.
It's gonna disappear into it.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna run to my smoke.
So you like quickly like you have no problem turning around because you hear it coming, but you know the smoke's there. You just kind of like loop right into the smoke. Awesome, great turn. So you step into the smoke itself. That means that when the creature does come around the bend, it comes round the bends, like comes out from where the behind the smoke is, and now the 3 of you are aware of it because actually Derp still technically isn't because you weren't able to move very much because you like locked the thing and went up behind them and you wouldn't have looped, you would have moved slowly. So actually you don't see it yet yourself. You're actually safe. It comes around where the smoke is, stepping around it because obviously it's not going to go through it, right? To look up to see what it sees. Immediately as it comes into sight of Portal and of Bastion, who's right behind them, both of you guys make me Constitution saves.
You're mean.
I'm still covered in the saliva.
You are.
Scott's not mean. I'm safe. I'm good. I don't have to worry about a
Oh,
thing.
okay, good job, Bastion. Ooh, Tal.
Oh, there we go
You
again.
want Witcher sense that, Tal?
You feeling
You
good
want a
with that
Witcher
14?
You got what, 4 of them, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 4.
You
I
wanna-
do want to
Covered in
witch
saliva.
Wait, we rolled the same thing.
Just suck it up like a bitch.
Well, one of you's just better,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, legitimately, he's a witcher.
Yeah. So what do you want to do, sir? You gonna click that little button?
You gonna Witcher sense that, Tal?
Yeah, click the macro. Witcher sense macro.
You happy
can
with
do
a
it.
14 there?
Where is this macro?
So top right hand corner, hit the hamburger.
Pussy.
Next to the gear.
Howard.
If
Hit
you
the
check
hand.
that
It's already covered in fucking
Top,
saliva.
so
but
you see
still.
where the chat window is. Top right hand corner, there's a hamburger next to the cog. Click that, and then it'll show Witcher Sense. Click the D20 next to it.
You can
Wait,
also
like
click
settings?
in bar, and then it
Oh, like
shows up at the
settings.
bottom left.
Top right at the. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not seeing this. Top
Are you
right,
on the pop out right now, or are you on the actual roll 20?
actual thing.
Yeah, so you know that you see the cog, right?
It's 3 lines and 3
what's to the
dots
gear?
next to it.
It's the list next to the cog.
Yeah.
Oh, the list. Oh, okay.
Ha- hamburger menu is the 3-line menu. Sorry, I'm using modern terms. I forgot you were
Oh,
old.
baby.
A 16.
So it's 16. So you're down to the what, 3 Witcher senses left.
Yeah.
So you actually do resist the effects. You see the eye, and immediately just kind of like, it's one of those things where you see the eye, you see the thing come around, and you immediately like avert your eyes and just like rub goop, like the bloody saliva all over your face, just to completely protect yourself from
You're
it.
so scared. You're like, ah!
It's like, no, I'm out.
The saliva now mixes with piss.
The creature's turn was to step up and kind of like and move up that close. It actually moves up to be in front of you, Tal. Unfortunately, it had to double move to get up here all the way quickly. Its attack was just the fact that you're near it. It's its whole turn. That brings us to Bran. Bran, you imagine you hear like Tal or Bastion like cuss for a second, but you don't know why. So, I mean, you're not an
I'm gonna
idiot, but you
hold
don't
an
know why.
action.
So do you not approach to see how things have resolved, or what do you do?
Not yet. I hold an action. I move up when Bastion does.
Okay, sure. So you hang back completely out of sight, only able to see like the back of Bastion, not able to see everything else going in front of him. And that is Bastion's turn. Bastion, what do you do? You have full normal movement now.
I'm gonna fucking run up and try and stab it in the eye.
Awesome. It's only about 25 feet away from you, 20 feet away from you, so it's easy to do.
Yep.
What weapon you wielding?
I will be using my Mahakam longsword.
Go. Go on. I'll give you 11 and a half hour.
Doesn't understand. It's like, Scott, why are you still streaming?
So
Love me.
So anyways, the attack with the longsword, it's not flanking or anything like that as of right now. You have precise strike or other abilities you can use to enhance it if you care to.
Yeah, let me.
Because that also increases your damage, I think, if you hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Like, precise strike's like the broken one. I'm surprised they didn't errata that. Okay. I should make a macro just for the D8, but go ahead.
Spend 1 superior. I always forget what a superiority die is.
D8.
It's D8.
I don't know why I thought it was your dex modifier.
You apply that to your parry. That's it. So
okay.
your 9 becomes an 11. Do you also want to use a Witcher Sense since you're already kind of like halfway in? Do you want to go all in and use a Witcher Sense too?
How many do we have left?
3. It's a good
3.
amount. You gain 3 this session alone.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, we all
Let's use
spend
the
3.
losers. Everyone else is using them. Why don't I?
There you go. Click
No!
the hamburger
Fucking
menu.
pussy.
Click.
Let me go hamburger it up.
I'm gonna show
Just
you
hit,
guys.
just click the in bar button so you don't need.
Yeah,
to
Yeah, I was
stabbed
gonna suggest that at the end of the stream. That's cool. So with your total of a 14, nope, 11, 13. Yeesh. Total of a 13. Sorry, sir. That's a mess.
What a waste. No.
Do I still
Fucking
get another attack?
Yes, you do.
Bitches.
Okay. Yeah, I probably should have just. Look, he sweet talked me into it.
I know. I love using party resources. It's my job, man.
He swindled you out of it.
Oh my fucking
Ugh,
goodness.
Oh,
no,
God.
don't.
So you want to go down that rabbit hole
I'm
again?
not doing it this time.
I was so close to a 20 as well.
Oh, you know what we didn't even do? We didn't even have you avert your eyes for disadvantage. So you actually aren't even averting your eyes at the moment, but that's fine. So you come rushing up to this thing and you're like swinging at it. And it's like one of those things where you come rushing up and unfortunately you swing and it was a horrible miss because the creature just happened to move in such a way that literally your blades sling along. Even though it's slung along, even though it's a Mahakam weapon, clearly its scale is just very powerful, so it kind of like slid down the side of it much like it would slide down a shield. But then like you take another swing at it and last second realize you're looking at this creature as you're swinging at it and you kind of like flinch away and it's just a horrible attack that misses because you're like, oh shit, and you look away. That's it. After you goes to, unless you have a bonus or nope, yeah, unless you use a bonus action for anything, which you did not yet.
Use my bonus action to look away after.
Well, you can if you want.
Oh yeah, I will can.
When?
You're welcome. So that is your turn. You get the +2 to your AC.
That's not the thing.
And then as you moved, because you had your Mahawk and Steel, I just want to remind you, just because of the way rules work, as you moved, you could have also drawn your shield too. Technically. Would you have
Oh
done
yeah,
that?
my shield would be
Okay,
drawn.
so you kind of like would have done that as you ran forward, and then did you? Cool. So anyways, you do your abilities, and that goes to Talabast's turn. Tal, you're right there. The thing is right in front of you. It was moving up to attack you, and all of a sudden he came over and failed to assist.
He still will assist because I'm going to move into a flanking position.
Okay, you do so.
And then I will stab it.
So now, because of the fact that it's looking at him, moving to flanking puts you around behind it, which is probably good news.
Yep. So again, base of the skull. Whoosh. And if I get in, I'll stay in and push that face down. But we'll get to that when it comes to it.
Just because while you're doing this, just to explain to chat for those that don't understand, because somebody did ask, the way that daddies work is as you watch the stream, just as you happen to be a part of the stream and here you collect them over time, so long as you have the Twitch extensions activated. After you've collected some, either from subscribing gets you some, donations get you some, or bit drops get you some as well. There is a minimum cutoff. That's just how these work. That's not set by me. So the way the bit drop one works is you have to do a minimum of 100 bits to make it happen, and then it kind of goes up from there. That's just the way that it's set up by the people that did it. You can spend those by also clicking on the extension, and it shows you your options of things to spend them on. There's some amazing things, some cool things, and some nifty things. So, kind of have fun with those. All right, so your attack roll was absolutely amazing. It's 25. You hit, sir. And because you're behind it, you can't go for the eyes, boo. Go for the eyes. And you did damage, but it's not like you did an incredible amount of damage. You just hit it. So,
Yep.
Okay.
So, I burn it through my key like there's no tomorrow. I'm gonna flurry of blows straight after.
Okay.
Or I can take my other attack action if you would like first.
Yeah. You flurry of blows immediately afterwards if you'd like, and then your other attack action. I'm cool with that. That's cool. You do you, boo.
So he sort of jabs forward with the spear, hits but doesn't really do what he wants. Shifts the grip on the spear, takes a step forward and kicks it in the side of the head.
Mm-hmm.
And then whomp on the back of the head.
Okay. Do your kick and your womp.
Come on, womp.
Whomp.
Okay.
Womp.
That's your kick. Your kick actually was pretty decent. Now give me your womp. Ooh, okay, I'll roll it.
Wait, how many key points do you have?
None right now, but you shouldn't have asked that because now Scott knows and he'll smell the weakness.
Yeah.
He's like,
I rolled a natty 1, so actually you succeeded your goddamn ability. So
right, and then whomp.
I don't think these things
With
have lived
advantage.
hurt us.
with advantage.
Oh, with advantage. Oh yeah.
What
She stunned it.
heckin' whompin' dude.
Whomp.
Okay.
Womp.
Same exact result. That's funny. Do your damage. Okay, and then do your third attack with advantage. This is with
So
your
now
spear.
Tao's right above it. He's gonna switch the grip on the spear to 2-hand down grip and drive that into the back of the skull.
Or attempt to.
Or attempt to. Give me
He's
that
gonna-
natty 20. Give me that natty 20.
Dude, did anybody else get the D20 roll so high?
yeah.
It was huge for a second. That was crazy. That was awesome. So yeah, that's a hit, not a natty 20 though. Roll your damage, and I'll describe. So what ends up happening is that the blade, you try to sit in the back of the skull. The skull is so thick, plus the hide, it ends up like sliding off and like cutting
Yeah, it
into the meat
does.
of one of the arms. Again, it has 6 legs. This thing does 6 legs. It does 6 legs. That brings us to Tal. Tal, you can hear. Sorry, Leonard, you can hear the combat happening immediately outside the smoke. Like you can hear it happening around you. Once again, just because of the fact that you have such a high passive, I'm actually going to allow you to kind of like in your mind's eye, closing your eyes for a second and thinking, in your mind's eye, place where you think people are on like the grid around you, despite the fact that you can't see them. So you can make me an intelligence check with advantage to know where to step out to be flanking, but not in front of the creature. Intelligence check advantage.
Double 91.
So-
Close enough.
So instead, no,
Sure.
instead of just instead of just knowing, it's just going to be semi-random. You know what I mean? That's all it is.
Wait, but that's a save. That's not the right thing. So
It's technically right.
Oh, dunce! With the save.
I feel like we should all have a dunce hat next to our desk, so when dunce proves us wrong, we like put it on.
Hey, that's much better.
let's go.
You know exactly where to step out, so when you do so,
Yeah,
you're
I
like
did.
right next to Tal. Like, hey, buddy,
Click the right button this time.
it's your turn, full turn.
Um,
You only move part of your move to get out.
it's stunned on the ground.
Yep.
I lunge for its eyes with a dagger in hand,
Womp it to death.
stabbing wildly.
Go right ahead.
I'm not gonna. I have advantage, right? Because he's stunned. So
You do, sir, and +2. That's a hit. Roll your damage.
18. 7.
Okay, and again.
25.
Yep, and again.
Did I hit any of the eyes here?
You
Go for the eyes.
You were
baby.
behind it, so you're lunging on top of it and trying to stab it into the eyes. That was okay. My apologies. So with that second one, you actually do. You actually do hit into the eye. You actually end up destroying one of the eyes. So the first one, you kind of jump down, you try to stab into the eye instead of kind of like, ended up hitting inside of one of its like nostril areas because the way that it moved. And then, you pull back and you actually stab into the eye and you hurt it considerably. It's actually a really good thing that you did that. So that was your move. You have a bonus left? Anything with that or no?
I will use my hands to cover his eye.
No.
God damn.
It's the creature's turn.
Yeah.
The creature's stunned, so it literally can't do anything. So it just
Yeah,
stays there. Bran, you saw what's his name, Bastion rush forward.
All right, I move up. So I'll actually see one
Just
of them
activated Daelric's trap card.
Black hole.
So you do move up. You do move up and see the creature that's there. Now I'm actually going to give you the ability to have advantage on this save. Not because it has one eye, it's just a lower DC, but actually because of the fact that Bastion is consistently like in the way, and like as soon as you see what's going on, you try to like angle yourself, but Bastion's still moving a bunch. I'll give you advantage,
now. Cool. So con
Constitution
save.
please.
Okay.
He's a thick boy, that Bastion.
The 16,
I'm
I
blocking.
already know that succeeds. So more or less what it is as soon as you step up and you see like what's going on, you see there's definitely another one, they're definitely fighting it, so on and so forth. You easily like kind of like duck and just kind of like stay moving so that Bastion is between you and its eye. It's nope, now there's only one eye. Yay! What do you do in your turn?
I'll throw a firebolt at it. Why not?
Okay.
Don't hit me.
It's funny. You had a chance of potentially hitting the person that was on top of him, but you rolled very well. You rolled very well.
Exactly.
Roll your damage.
So that would have been wonderful for inter-party relationship, wouldn't
Feel like
it?
a fireball come between my legs.
This thing has been resistant to all the different types of weapons you've attacked at. It's steel, Mahawken steel, silver, all that. But fire burns it just as it burns pretty much anything else. And so you actually do an incredible amount of damage against this creature. Unfortunately, your second D10 was crap, so it didn't finish the job. So, didn't finish the job. That brings us to Bastion's turn. Bastion.
I finally hit one of them.
That's true.
Bastion.
Yes.
I was waiting until the beginning of this turn since I didn't do to you at the end of last turn.
Yeah.
Roll me your con save.
Oh,
I fucking do it, dude.
remember, you can channel all of its stonifying effect into your pain.
Oh!
Ah, Bastion is like the most badass person. Like other people get some awesome moments, but Bastion's just like nothing takes me down. So like you the thing was looking at you, looking at it, you
That's
flinched
not
away
true
and missed.
necessarily, though. I've gotten killed almost like 3 times now.
No.
I nearly killed you
Drowners
once.
never take you down.
So you looked away, you missed, and then you remember something, just like a glint of knowledge in the back of your minds from all your Witcher studies, right? You remember, no. If you resist a creature's natural effects like this, if you can like ignore them, then you probably it's very likely you could ignore them for a period of time. You know what I mean? Like, sure, 3 different basilisks is one thing, but one basilisk over and over again, that's nothing. So you just like able to clearly lock eyes with this thing as it's pinned to the ground, unable to move, one person on top of them. This is an easy attack for you. Sir, roll me with advantage and your +2. Your attack roll.
It's like full on anime. He locks eyes with it. He doesn't turn to stone, and it's like Nani.
It had 4 health points. It had
damn.
4 health points.
I'm witnessing a fucking murder here.
Sir, you don't even have to roll your damage, but feel free to if you'd like.
I swear he rolls 2 ones.
Wait, did you go for the eye?
Would you have? Because you already
I
have
probably
Staring
would
at
have
me.
gone for the eye. Like, I probably would have slashed across. Like,
Oh, okay,
right
cool.
at the eyes.
That's fine. Either way, it had 4 health left. You finished this thing. So you do you want to describe it or?
You know what? I want you to describe it for me.
So as you just said, you go to slash across this thing. So you go to slash with your Mahawken steel longsword across the eye, and you definitely cut into the eye. But unfortunately, like part of the blade ends up getting like at the very tail end of your slash, which is from the outside in. So like the bridge of where it's like nose snout area is, kind of gets caught. And your blade, because of how strong the scales are, you're pulling as hard as you can, but can't get the blade free. So you just decide, fuck it. You use the angle to angle it out wide, and then so the blade is like lined up with the eye socket, and just push deep in, and you send your blade like 4 or 5 inches deep into this creature's skull, and just immediately it stops moving, a little twitch, stops moving, and is just done. With one of you covered in saliva and blood, the rest of you just kind of like standing about in whatever condition you're in. You're all standing. You're standing over the 2 dead basilisks, not normal not natural basilisks, the big winged beasts, but these 6-legged reptilian creatures that were recently created by this horrible work of two mages. There you are.
I'm gonna pull my sword back out, put it away. Well.
Let's get to work harvesting those saliva glands. The more we can get, the better.
Absolutely.
So you guys do get into work doing that. As I said beforehand, you easily are able to take out the parts that you did because these are very unique creatures to this world. I believe I said that they gave you each how much XP last time? Did I say 300 last time? But like 150. I'm just trying to remember what I said. Hold on.
You said
How much
200
special
normal
XP? Yep.
and 100 special, I think.
I think that's right as well, Rick.
Rare XP in
Yep.
my inventory, so
You have how much? What?
I have 50 rare
Yeah,
XP.
okay, that makes sense. So these ones
Yeah,
are
there we
actually,
go.
even though you didn't really get to experience it because your attack rolls were much better, the amount of damage you did added up quicker just because of circumstance. These ones are actually tougher than the last ones. So they weren't 300 XP creatures. These were actually like 500 XP creatures each. So you guys are able to pull off of them 400 more XP for crafting, which you don't do often enough in my opinion, and 200 more special for crafting. So that's 400 to each of you, 100 to each of you for the special, and you kind of gather that. But now we actually have to make the survival checks to try to peel free from what you're doing. I know we're giving, what's his name there? Bastion is the best at it. He's going to be making the rolls with advantage.
He's not the best.
Oh, who is? I can't remember.
I think. What's your plus? Dunce.
Oh, I
Does
get
it-
2 to survival.
Just for simplicity, everybody roll me a flat survival normal. Just so
I
can
have
see
a
it.
+4.
Just roll
So
it.
I think it's.
Because this isn't going to apply.
Oh no, I don't. I have a +6. My bad.
Go fuck yourselves!
Okay. And there we go. Okay, cool. So it's going to be Tal
Close,
rolling
right.
twice with advantage. We're going to assume one Witcher's kind of taking apart one of them, and the other Witcher's taking apart the other one. So he's just kind of like going between Bran's assisting in the places that he can. Bran, we're going to
I
have you
would be
roll in a
looking at
second.
them with detect magic, actually.
Yep, we're going to have you going at it in 1 second. And one more time, sir.
Go fuck yourself!
So same as before, you kind of are able to grab off of it the amount of any amount of saliva that you can get your hands on. Do you want to add any Witcher senses to either of these, or are you happy with them? Okay. So one of them is same as before. It's like a very clean, like it only has some blood in it. That was the flask that you used to save Bran before. Excuse me. The other one has a bit more of a reddish hue to it, but still is fairly clean. Flasks full of saliva. But those two rolls are actually able to gather between the two of them enough to make 3 full flasks of saliva, which is awesome because you left behind, one before, having to use like a bit of that change and stuff just to get, what's his face taken care of. So you
got
left behind
3 full flasks
of pretty good condition saliva from these creatures, right? You got the experience that I talked about. Could you roll me an Arcana check, please, Rick?
Go fuck yourselves!
Oh my god, that was amazing. Amazing. So you had your thing on before, as we were describing, and kind of like walking through the hallways and trying to see what it is that you could detect magic-wise throughout the halls. You can clearly tell that these creatures were the source of the magic that we're referring to. And the reason why this comes off as a bit strange, because sure, they're monsters, but your ability to detect magic doesn't detect monsters. That's like a Witcher's medallion. You can only detect otherworldly creatures. Something about them is a bit otherworldly. Now, you knew originally that there was a bit of like the geomancy and a bit of the hemomancy that was used to create these things, mixing the basilisk eggs of the big dracnids with the blood of many different types of snakes and whatnot, as well as like some other stuff going on. But then you think of that, across the street over there, that building that you were in, how you actually saw a little bit of the that other type of magic that allows you to summon creatures. And you come to the realization like, if that other guy's primary school was the ability to summon creatures from somewhere else, and I'm getting otherworldly vibes off of this, it's called Goshia. Yeah, Goshia is the name of that magic. And you're kind of like getting that off of this creature, then maybe there's a bit more to this than you had thought so far, which kind of putting 2 and 2 together for a second, and I'm giving you this much because of your really high Arcana check. You have come across one creature before where your silver wasn't as effective as you had hoped it would be. That creature being the thing that you had summoned from another plane of existence before.
My friend!
Yeah, the big beast. So that's
what's his abbreviation?
I don't
Was
know.
it BBHB or something?
Big naked horny beast. So
yeah, BNHB. Yeah.
Yep. Except it's pronounced H. You don't have to the H.
Portal Pal.
So you are come kind of like putting 2 and 2 together that maybe that's why its scales and whatnot are so resistant. And so, of course, with your high Arcana check, you also think of maybe I should keep a bit more of this creature's, like its scales and whatnot, something to for studying. I don't know if you go so far as, and this is up to you, if you go so far as to flay the creature and remove all of it, or if you're just taking like more examples of its scales. It's up to you.
I would basically like be looking at it, like taking maybe a lick of its blood to like get a taste for it, taste like the magic going through it. At some point, I turn around and look at the witches and I go, I'm gonna need some help.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I'm not
Do you remember when that creature came from the portal?
The one outside that they've been hanging up everywhere?
Yes. They've been parading it because, if anything, witch hunters are good at stealing other people's glory and using it to further their own cause.
Says the guy who summoned a demon in it. You know what? Just go ahead.
I mean, I was gonna tell you about what I found out, but I could just like leave it be. And he like makes to walk off, and I'm like, fine. These creatures, they're not entirely of this world.
Well,
I mean the magic. I'm confused. I
No.
don't understand.
You remember fighting that beast, how your silver was not as effective.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These creatures were also, I think, from another world.
From that portal you opened.
Not necessarily, but while I was nosying around in Malvoon's study, I noticed that he kept some journals of the mage that we encountered on the hill, the Geomancer. It turns out that his primary school of magic might have been Gocha, a magic school to summon creatures from other worlds. I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need to flail one of these to get the scales for further study. And seeing how you guys are experts at butchering creatures and hauling all the bits of it around and jamming it in potion jars, I'd appreciate the assistance.
I'm willing to help. What do you think it is, though, that they summoned a creature and then used that creature to create these ones?
I don't know. I'm gonna need to study it. I'm gonna ask Malvoon some hard-pressed questions next time we meet.
I'm not really sure that he'll give you anything useful.
Well, we won't have much of a choice. There's something
Right.
going on here, and I don't like it.
So you guys get to flaying the creature. Do the best you can to try to keep it as a single, coat. You know, something that you could kind of clean off or whatever. Make for me your last survival check. Once again, this is made with advantage.
And would this be me doing it, or would it be Tal again?
Technically, it's Tal that's doing it because all of you have to. So canonically, it's the Witchers leading this task, but we're using Tal's roll because you're just going to use the best of everybody's roll. I'm not going to penalize you because he's not the Witcher in the game. So
yeah, I would have asked the Witchers because you guys harvest potion ingredients all the time.
So I do want to ask this, and I know this. You know, you're looking at a 21 and thinking, "Oh, it's a really fucking good roll." You are trying to flay the entire creature's flesh all together as one big piece. Do you want to add a Witcher sense to increase that 21? Do you have 2 Witcher sense left? Or are you happy
As
with that?
this is a group errand, I would like to put it out to vote with you all.
All right, there you go.
My vote is no.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know.
Because he's weird.
I vote no. I'd rather us just fail.
So, so you guys are able to skin the creature. That's not a concern. But if you know anything about skinning, it's not just about like, okay, I successfully removed it from the body. It's also about successfully removing the sinews and whatnot behind it, and whether or not areas it was done pretty evenly across the board. If you gouged too deep in some areas and left too much in the other, because it makes it like the quality on the other side, like of the actual work done. Or if you end up puncturing through at a spot where you're like, oh shit, now there's a hole that I have to try to patch up. So it's just like the overall quality of it. You know, none of you guys are tanners. None of you guys are specifically butchers for doing this sort of a thing. Just usually grabbing bits that you know that are important.
Tanning comes later. That's fine.
So you guys aren't skilled at doing this kind of a task. So there's little hiccups here and there, but nothing like overall. You get the whole thing as one piece removed from the body. Like, but I don't know if you guys ever skinned a cat in school. I actually did. You kind of like up the wrists, around the side.
I never did, but I had a class next to the class that did it. It smelled like shit for like a whole month.
Did you say you skinned a?
Why would they do that?
What did you skin?
They're dead. Yeah, they're dead.
It's like a dead
cat.
formaldehyde cat. Yeah, as well as many other things. Yeah.
It's for an anatomy class. You cut it open, you check it out.
Yeah, we did dissections, but
Cut open frogs, not
we
cats.
didn't skin things.
Oh yeah. We skinned it to start. We did frogs. We did all sorts of different creatures. Doesn't really matter. So you guys are able to remove the flesh from this creature. Not everybody's a part of this task. You know what I mean? There are points in time where it's kind of like, give me a second, I need to walk off, because it's a lot of hard work. If it's hard to fucking stab the thing, which has
Probably doesn't smell
less
great.
precision. No. Then you have to try to like scrape the stuff off, which is, it's not like it's easy to cut through the body underneath it either, right? So you actually have a genuinely hard time doing this. You kind of like take times walking off. You guys also eventually will make your way throughout the mansion itself to see like, is anybody still alive? Is anybody still here? You actually are able to discover that there are 2 servants that were held themselves up. If there was a little bit more investigating on that second floor, you would have found 2 servants were kind of like locked up for the past. Apparently, this happened about 3 days ago. 2 servants had locked themselves up into a room and were able to stay safe there. Lots of like scratch marks into the door, but it just happened to be a particularly heavy door and they didn't care enough to finish getting their way through. Also, going into looking throughout, you can actually see an area that has access to the basement, like the door that would lead to the basement has several people like dead in front of that one, turned to stone in front of it. When you guys are actually able to move the people out of the way enough and open the door and look on the other side, you actually can find the Lord himself down in the basement, all by himself, having been down here for 3 days. When you come across him, when you find him, because there's almost no food down there, it's literally just because of how food is stored, like cheese and wine. And so he's survived off of cheese and wine for the past 3 days. So that makes a very interesting, no, not for only 3 days, it's not that bad. But that makes for an interesting scenario that you guys can walking yourselves into. But why don't we handle that scenario and everything next session as we finish this up. So we're going to go around and explain who everybody is. I hope everybody sticks to the end of that. We're about to go and raid my buddy Ollie. That's twitch.tv/OllieRant, OLIRANT. We're about to go raid there in a second because usually he starts a campaign that we're a part of. The 2 of us are a part of it this time. But he's playing a different game instead. So let's go around, talk about who we are, and then we'll raid over there. So let's start with you, Rick. Who are you? How can we find you?
Hi, my name is Rick. I do things on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Just look for Derp Digital. Currently videos are on hold because live stuff. I might be moving soon, so, you know. Hectic and chaos and blah, blah. Me and Scott are going to play a thing at some point, so that'll be fun.
Yes, we are going to do the chatting thing. I screwed one thing up, but we'll do another thing, and it'll happen.
Oh, so just for you guys, Dunson and I tried that XCOM co-op mode.
Yep.
It works pretty well. We ran into one issue, though, that crashed the save. So make sure you don't do it on a save that you like.
So what happens? So how does it work for the co-op mode?
So basically, one guy hosts it, and the other guy can control, like, some characters in the squad. So one guy goes into the mission and picks out the squad members, and then just leaves. One. Yeah, you remove one, and the other guy joins in as a squad member, and then you can. Yeah. Okay. So technically it is co-op.
Squad members.
It's messy, but it works.
Yeah, so if you have like a group of 6, because I believe in this version of XCOM it eventually goes to 6 people.
I think but you only get 4 when you start out on the new save, and the odds of it crashing before you get there is pretty high. So
yeah, it did crash when we were playing.
Never mind. I'm kind of happy I screwed up and missed the Steam sale, or the sale of it on Steam.
We'll find something else. No worries.
Then we'll find something that's a little bit better for this. Then okay. Oof. All right, cool. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you. So thank you, Rick. We'll be doing something soon anyways. Dunce, how can we find you? Who are you?
Twitch.tv/dunce/subscribe.
Is that a T-pose?
Yes. I'm asserting dominance over the chat, so subscribe to me. All right, that's it.
And that is messy.
What does the beta male smile look like? Do you guys know about this?
I don't even know what you're referring to.
Scott, smile for me.
Huh.
Wow.
So
I am also on Twitch and on YouTube. I got some stuff recorded that's going to be coming out on YouTube soon. It's just when you do it as a day job, when you do video editing as a day job, having to go home and do it just makes it not fun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, man, I've been doing this for like 8 hours today. I don't want to make another video, but like, I don't know. I got to, so it'll probably happen soon.
Fun.
And then I'm doing Black Ops today on Twitch for sure.
What time?
I don't know.
Okay.
In the afternoon. It might be like right after I get some food.
So make sure you follow Messy Cat so you can see when he goes live.
Messy_cat.
So you can see when he goes live. And Neil.
I'm Neil. You can find me at Naghai on the Discord, which you should join, the False Pretenses Discord, which is just below, or on Twitter at Naghai_ if you have any questions about the settings I'm involved in. I play in this stream on Scott's channel, obviously, here, which is good fun, and I also play in a stream that would be starting now on Ollie/Ollie Rant's channel that will be starting next week, and that will be returning to Yavaskir, A Mother's Love.
Absolutely. Awesome. And I'm Daelric. This is my channel. You found me. I'm on YouTube. You find me Daelric everywhere. I'm also half of Lost Initiative. So tonight I will be over on Twitch.tv/Lost Lost Initiative show at 9 p.m. EST. We're going live with Season 2, Session 1 of our Star Wars Fate in the Stars game. So that's a lot of fun. Totally check us out. We have great peeps there as well. So hopefully I'll see you around. But let's go raid Ollie. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We're not going anywhere. We're raiding.
We're just standing here.
Yeah, raid.
Raid.
Whoa, nice roll!
Raid.